know whether we can cross to him, salimie watu kidogo, tuambie tumpata wapi and exactly what he has in store for us. All right, DJ Justice, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Niko fiti, nashukuru manze.
Okay.
Niko poa. Nashukuru.
Habari ndio hiyo. Guess what? There is a lot that is gonna come from him today. It's the very first time that we're seeing him today. Mmezoea DJ Bona, acha tuone nani anaweza washa moto mzuri kwa studio. Is it DJ Justice ama DJ Bona? Na naona DJ Bona ni mahali kwa studio kidogo tu. I don't know what's happening today, but ni sawa. DJ Justice will be coming to you all the way shortly for 35 minutes of uninterrupted music breaks right here on the Morning Drift. Guess what? There's a lot as also in schedule for you. Muguru Kimani will be coming to you as well shortly for bigger conversations around exactly what is going on in the entertainment scene in the country as well. So this much to look forward to. All that you gotta do is join us online and Look Up TV across all your social media platforms. I am at Kiagasimba. We are also live on our website, www.lookuptv.co.ke. Once you're there, a comment, a subscription, and a like on the stories that we give you right there on the website will be much appreciated. Fantastic. Right now, we take a tiny breather right here on the Morning Drift. Once we come back, I'll be taking you straight to the newsroom where I'll get to share with you some of the biggest stories that are taking center stage today. Remember, we are online at Look Up TV across all your social media platforms. I am at Kiagasimba. Let's jump into the first story now. The court has given the embattled Jubilee Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni temporary injunction barring the registrar of political parties from effecting leadership changes in the party pending the hearing and determination of a matter they had filed before court. The aftermath of the court order saw Raila Odinga and a host of other leaders move with speed to recapture the Jubilee offices on Retender. Opens us into this morning's bulletin.
Leadership wrangles pitting two factions against each other continue to rock the Jubilee Party. On Thursday, Jeremiah Kioni, who had been ejected as the party's Secretary General, arrived at the party's newly acquired offices in the company of Azimio Premier Raila Odinga, his former running mate Martha Karua, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, and DAP Kenya's Eugene Wamalwa. Jeremiah Kioni delivered a statement from political parties' dispute resolutions that stayed the changes that were effected by the Jubilee's National Executive Committee and ratified by the registrar of the political parties.
The political parties tribunal issued an order to us, myself, Mheshimiwa Murathe, and two others. And the order is very clear. It is hereby ordered, among the many other things, that pending inter-parties hearing and determination of the application, interim conservatory orders are hereby issued staying the respondent's decision and further staying any consequential action by the respondent towards effecting, adopting, or ratifying the resolutions of the subject meeting.
With the move giving him a temporary relief, Kioni maintains the faction led by Iala MP Kanini Kega did not follow the party's regulations in effecting the changes, terming such changes as inconsequential.
Our constitution is very clear, the Jubilee Constitution. Only the SG and the party leader can call the National Executive Committee. Pesa ya kununuana itakuwako. Wale wako na bei waende sokoni iko pale State House. And you can always go to State House with a placard saying, I am worth this amount of money. They will give you the money.
Kioni is adamant the challenges facing the Jubilee Party are instigated by the head of state, President William Ruto, in a deliberate effort to capture the party from Azimio.
William Ruto is on record as having said that he must take over Jubilee. Those attempts, the attempts that you saw, culminating in the meetings that you saw of people at Sarova Hotel in Nakuru. of people who called themselves together and formed a so-called NEC. And that meeting happened immediately. The same team visited State House and met William Ruto there.
Azimio leader Raila Odinga, who was here in solidarity with Kioni, has reiterated the opposition coalition will remain unshaken even in the face of sustained onslaught on its members by President Ruto.
Kenya Kwanza administration has launched an all-out assault on our hard-won multi-party democracy. There's an all-out push by the Kenya Kwanza regime to kill other parties, buy and co-opt members of parliament into its ranks, and intimidate and bully all those that resist the administration's illegal, unconstitutional, and anti-democratic maneuvers.
The former premier issuing a warning that the nation of Kenya was treading on dangerous grounds, accusing President Ruto of undermining democracy through interference with independent institutions.
We are witnessing an extremely dangerous trend where investigators and prosecutors have merged in our country. When investigators and prosecutors merge, Kenyans should be very afraid, because there can never be justice under such circumstances.
The Jubilee that we belong to, na iko kwa roho zetu, hiyo Jubilee iko ndani ya Azimio. Halo? Iko ndani ya Azimio. Na hiyo Jubilee believes in the cause that we have started through the People's Baraza. Now the resolutions of the People's Baraza, we are part and parcel of those resolutions.
Even with its members dwindling day in, Azimio has assured the nation it will remain united in its resolve to fight for good leadership in the country. For Jubilee Party, the coming days will determine which faction is the bona fide leadership of the embattled party. Henry Tende, Look Up TV.
Now, the Employment and Labour Relations Court has thrown out the Law Society of Kenya's petition questioning the legality of the positions of chief administrative secretaries, terming them as unlawful after the Public Service Commission advertised the vacancies for the positions last year. Iana Keitani now reports.
Surrounding the appointment of chief administrative secretaries and whether the positions are anchored in law has been put to bed after Justice Monica Mbaru quashed the petition by the Law Society of Kenya, who argued that the positions were not anchored in law. The LSK went to court after the Public Service advertised vacancies for the CAS positions in October last year, with thousands expressing interest in the positions. In her judgment, Justice Mbaru indicated that the Public Service Commission followed all the due procedures and therefore the appointments were lawful. The ruling comes as a reprieve to hundreds of politicians who lost their seats in the August 9th general elections and are close allies of the head of state and are therefore hoping to be appointed into office. Among them are former Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko, former nominated Senator Millicent Omanga, former Starehe MP Charles Njagua Kani, former Kakamega Senator Cleophas Malala, former Bahati MP Kimani Nginjiri and former Turbo MP Caleb Kositani. The positions were created during former President Uhuru Kenyatta's reign, before various societies went to court, arguing that the president did not follow the right procedures. Some of those who served in the CS docket include Zach Kinuthia, Dagoretti North MP Beatrice Elashi, ex-MP Lina Jebi Kelimo, David Osiani, current sports CS Ababu Namwamba and veteran politician Chris Obure. The vetting process of those who applied for the position is set to begin and will be presided over by the Public Service Commission. Ian Keitani, Look Up TV.
Jack Tono Odhiambo, the prime suspect in the murder of Eldoret-based LGBTQ activist and fashion model Edwin Kiprotich Kiptoo, alias Chiloba, has dropped his application for bail, stating that he is no longer interested to be granted bail. Let us get more from our reporter Cecilia Lubaka.
It is a new twist in the murder of the LGBTQ crusader Edwin Chiloba, as the key suspect Jack Tono Odhiambo told the court that he is no longer interested to be granted bail. Appearing before Justice Ruben Nyakundi for the bail application ruling on Thursday, Odhiambo's lawyer Mathai Maina told the court that they have withdrawn the application and they are ready for the pre-trial hearing, which is set for February 23, 2023. The prosecution counsel Mark Mugon further told the court that all the parties in the case have been duly served ahead of the pre-trial. The prime suspect during the mention last week denied the murder allegations leveled against him between December 31st, 2022 and January 3rd, 2023 in the Chebias area of Moiben, Uasin Gishu County. The sleuths privy to the ongoing investigations stated that Jackton had confessed that Odhiambo killed his alleged boyfriend, Chiloba. The 8th February court proceedings saw Odhiambo ordered to undergo a mental evaluation before taking murder plea. 4 other suspects, among them 3 minors, were set free by the court after evidence showed that they had no link to the killing of Chiloba. The prime suspect has told the court that he is not interested in being freed on bond and that they are ready for the pre-trial hearing. Cecilia Lubanga, Look Up TV.
Now, President William Ruto's constitution amendment proposals were on a Thursday tabled before the National Assembly. As our reporter Shadrack Arabia reports, members of parliament allied to the Kenya Kwanza have supported the proposals, as one of those from the Azimio outfit continued to oppose it.
Is just about to commence any minute from.
A fresh constitutional amendment battle line has been drawn in the National Assembly. This is as the Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah tables the first reading of President William Ruto's proposals to amend the Constitution before the House.
Members are encouraged to attend the sessions to ensure that their views are recorded on these very important constitutional and procedural matters that are before us.
Is it a proposal that has left the House divided, as the Kenya Kwanza MP supported the bid?
We have NGCDF, GAF, and all such other funds in the Constitution, so that it is a right to the Kenyan child from Turkana, from Nairobi, from the whole Republic, such that any child who is aimed at joining Form 1 anytime will be knowing that very well I'll be joining Form 1 because the money which I aim to be sponsored by is in the Constitution.
And expand this fund so that it can be able to take care of those functions that the counties are struggling with, Honorable Speaker.
While their Azimio colleagues disputed the proposal.
If maybe the government decided to bring that office of the leader of opposition, I think the opposition leader will be more stronger when he has to know that office be given by the government. Because I'm looking at it that if this government will fund that opposition, they are being enticed even not to work. So I think we don't need it now.
The amendment President William Ruto is pushing for is the creation of the official office of the leader of opposition, amending parliamentary standing orders to allow cabinet secretaries appear in the chambers, and legalization of the CDF and ANGA funds. Azimio MPs have also disputed the process of amending the constitution through the parliamentary way instead of the referendum.
You just can't walk here because you're a technical person, and then you stand here and you speak from the chamber. Who gave you that opportunity? And that is why we are saying we don't have to change the constitution. Let us just change the standing orders on how they can stand over there. That is where they should stand and answer to us here, because there is not plenary. And they can say as much as they want, and we can grill them as much. But to bring them with this mess here, it must get the blessing of the people, which is through the ballot. There is no shortcut about it.
Shadrack Arabia, Look Up TV.
On your opinion on matters today, our reporter Edwin John Mukara asks Nairobi residents on the attack on President William Ruto's decision to deploy a multi-agency security team, including the Kenya Defence Forces, to fight bandits in 6 North Rift counties who've been killing residents and stealing their cattle, and if the security team will succeed in their operation to stop the bandits. Let's take a look.
President deploying a multi-agency team, including the KDF, to deal with the bandits in the North Rift. On your opinion matters today, we ask Nairobi residents what their take on the matter and if it's going to end the perennial fights in the North Rift.
The decision by the head of state to send a contingent of military officers to the war-torn areas, to me, it's a no. Or am I saying no? I believe it is costing taxpayers a lot of money. We are supposed to equip the police. If you look at those bandits, there are just few guys who are appearing and disappearing. So the only thing we need that the president could have done was to reinforce the police. Reinforce the police and let the KDF do more demanding work, like the borders and everywhere.
Yeah, it's a good initiative because as the days go by, bandits keep on increasing and disturbing people in those areas. So whichever ways the president can curb this menace, let him do so.
Naona ni kitu poa amefanya, but pia like tuko na brothers huko au ma brothers. I ensure safety yao ma brothers, tunataka warudi in one piece. Sasa wakienda kuweka safety ya Kenya, wanakufa huko. Venye tumezoea ati wanaenda wanakufa wanabaki huko. So this time tunataka venye ameamua hivyo, our brothers and sisters wenye wameenda huko nje warudi in one piece.
So apart from President deploying the KDF to go and restore peace and order in that place, I think it is also good for him to engage the local leadership from all sides, from Baringo, from Baringo, that's East Pokot, from Turkana, from Elgeyo Marakwet, that's Marakwet West, and also East, and as well as West Pokot. So I think it is good. Let him try and we see whether that one will work.
So in my take, I don't see the KDF and the police yielding much because after a short while we'll be back into wars. It has been tried before and this is not the first time that they are taking up this.
Those are some of the opinion of Nairobi residents of the deployment of the multi-agency team to deal with the bandits in the North Rift, with some being optimistic it's going to end the ever wars, while others are skeptical. Edwin John Mukora, Look Up TV.
Kiambu police officers have arrested 4 suspects over transformer theft crime, and they are accused of selling the oil from the transformers to residents in Kiambu, which is endangering the lives of those residents, as Phoebe Wangombe now reports.
Barely a week after 13 suspects were arrested in Kiambu County over a car theft crime, today, 4 more suspects have been apprehended over a transformer theft syndicate that has bedeviled the region for some time now. They are believed to be extracting and stealing oil from the transformers in Kiambu County, mostly around Deya and its surroundings.
Tunaomba serikali iingilie, ifanye uchunguzi wa dhati, ijue hawa watu ambao wanaiba transformer, wanatoa nini hasa kwa transformer, wanauza wapi. Tunajua serikali ina mkono mrefu, mtu hawezi jificha serikali. Itakuwaje wezi wa transformer wanazidi serikali?
Kiambu Police Commander Paminus Muchangi has said that the oil is being used to cook chips that are being sold to the residents, which also acts as a health hazard.
In those areas, we have combined our efforts. That is both in Nairobi and Kiambu, where we are carrying out a joint operation to ensure that those Mbuluwas there, we deal with them and we ensure that also those Mbulus, we pour them, and when we get to those culprits, we arrest them.
In addition, Mushangi has said that in the last 2 weeks, they have been able to pour over 10,000 liters of Kangara and 6,000 liters of Changa. They have also retrieved bang and other drugs from these areas. He has said that the Kiambu County Police, in partnership with the Nairobi County Police, are not going to rest until they ensure that crime in Kiambu County has come to an end.
And the worst thing is now that is some of the fuel which they suck from those transformers is the one now being used to when you are preparing the chips. There are those chips which are prepared using that oil from the transformers. The others, they are using it, that oil is also being used to filter their own oil.
Phoebe Wangombe, Look Up TV.
Phoebe Wangombe with that one. Turkana elders have lauded President William Ruto for deploying Kenya Defence Forces to restore security in the troubled North Rift. The elders have asked their counterparts from West Pokot to welcome the move as a long-time solution that will see the community live in harmony. Let's take a look.
Turkana elders and a host of other indigenous communities troubled by the bandit attack in the North Rift
have praised the ongoing operation that is spearheaded by the military in the affected regions. The elders praised President William Ruto for taking the bold step. Speaking in Lodwar, the elders exuded confidence in the KDF force, demanding that those who own illegal weapons be confiscated and prosecuted.
Nashukuru Rais kwa hii operesheni iendelee. Vile ndugu zangu wamesema hata ikichukua mwaka moja ichukue. Ingine kitu nataka kuongeza ni kwamba kuhimiza juu ya wale wanaotafuta njia ya kutoroka. Rais atusaidie, afunge mipaka yote ili bunduki zote mpaka itolewe. Tunashukuru na tunasema asante.
The elders are now calling on their counterparts from neighboring West Pokot County to support the disarmament operation.
Tunasema operation iendelee, itoe mabunduki ndio ipatie watu wa Lorokon hapo yote nafasi ya kufanya development. County imeshindwa kufanya development kwa sababu ya insecurity. Governor anajaribu wapi? Inachomwa shule, inafanywa nini? Na wao wanajenga kwao. Na sisi nasumbuliwa hapa hatupati hiyo time ya kujenga county.
Currently, the operation is ongoing in the affected areas with the curfew being implemented from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Gladys Masharia, Look Up TV.
Safaricom has held its inaugural Investors Day to update stakeholders on its journey to become a purpose-led technology company by 2025. Speaking at the event, Safaricom CEO Peter Ndegwa said investor forums is part of the company's efforts to engage with its business partners and stakeholders about its operations, strategies, and impact. Edwin John Mukoro returns with our story.
The hybrid investor day themed driving purpose-led growth has brought together the investors community, analysts and regulatory bodies, including representation from the Nairobi Security Exchange and the Capital Markets Authority CMA, with an attendance of over 100 investors in person and online.
We are elevating the process of how we think about our brand, especially as we expand our business and go into the region. And of course, customer is always the king. And Ethiopia is a very important business. And when you think about Ethiopia, we are looking forward to setting up a business that will be the size of Safaricom today in 10 to 12 years. So it is going to be a significant business for us in the future, and it's good to see it start to go live.
During the forum, Safaricom executives briefed the audience on its vision and strategic opportunities around its key businesses areas, including sustainable business and social impact, financial services, big data, technology and enterprise businesses opportunities for both the private and public sector. Investors were also taken through a detailed progress update of Safaricom Ethiopia.
Ethiopia at a glance. From this slide, please, I just want you to take into two things that are most important. Firstly, the size of the GDP, it's about $110 million. This is expected to jump up significantly next year and over the coming years. There's certain things that have happened on the political stage. Peace in the north. As peace comes, donors are coming back, world institutions are coming back, money is starting to trickle back into the economy. For 2 years, Ethiopia was a bit on the outside, and now as peace comes, it's being fully reintegrated into the global system, and we're already seeing things that are moving forward.
Adrian John Mokora, Look Up Business.
Eti watu wa Man U na Liverpool na Chelsea wanasherehekea Arsenal ikishindwa na Man City. Shida hii inakuanga gani? Man City has won the league actually 4 times in the past 5 years. Pep Guardiola came and said, "My guys are tired of winning this thing. That's why they're playing the way they're playing." Halafu fan wa Man U na Man City na Chelsea, na Liverpool na Chelsea, eti Arsenal mmetonga na Man City. Shida hii inakuanga gani? So Man City na ishinde. Anyway, some of those stories that we're going to talk with DJ Justus once we come back then on the 1 and 2s, and that is going to happen immediately after the newspaper review, which follows next after this press. Guess what? Stick with us at Look Up TV across all your social media platforms. I am at Kiaga Simba. Take a tiny breather. Once we come back, I'll be showing you exactly what is trending on our newspapers this morning.
really try this.